From the stories of Noah's Ark and Manna on the lawn, through the Gospels of Matthew, Mark, and Luke, and John. Whether you're new to this or an avid Sunday schooler, we'll learn about the Bible just like church,
but even cooler.
And we take what we learn and we use what we find to go into the world and let the light of God shine.
Buckle up, kids.
Minivangelism. It's time to go Minivangelism. In faith we go Minivangelism. Let's start the show!
Welcome back, Drill.
Thank you. Welcome back, Anna, to the Advent Adventure.
Yeah, it's Advent Adventure Week 2.
Week 2. So that means it's a 2-candle week.
Yes, and I am really excited about this week because we are actually skipping to after Christmas.
It's so cool.
We are just all over the place with our Advent Adventure.
But this Advent, we're making sure to notice people that heard about Jesus before he was born.
Yes.
And that includes the wise men.
Yes, or the Magi.
Yeah, what's Magi mean? Why do they get called Magi?
Because they were magical. I don't know.
You don't know? Oh, I should have stumped you.
That could have been a great stumper.
So Magi, it kind of means wise man or like astrologer, but it is the same root word as magician.
Yeah.
And so like back in that day, people who could read the stars and tell you the future, they were referred to as Magi. So that's one way that they get talked about, is the 3 Magi or the 3 wise men.
Yes. And these were people who came and visited Jesus.
Yes.
After he was born.
That's right.
And their story is really, really cool. But before we talk about the story of the wise men or the Magi, I have to know, do they show up in the Advent Adventure song?
We had to include them.
We
Absolutely.
had to.
You ready to hear it?
Yeah, I'm excited. Let's go.
Here it comes. We're going on an Advent adventure. Come along with me. 3 weeks till Christmas. Just enough time to wait and see. Light another candle and gather around the tree. We're going on an Advent adventure. Yippee! Who's that I see traveling from afar? Count 1, 2, 3 of them, following a brand new star. They asked to see the king, a star foretold his birth. What special gifts they bring, gold, frankincense, and myrrh. We're going on an Advent adventure, come along with me. 3 weeks till Christmas, just enough time to wait and see. Light another candle and gather around the tree. We're going on an Advent adventure. Yippee!
It just gets better and better every week.
I love having those Magi as a part of the party.
Yeah, they're awesome. So the Magi, like we said, they actually showed up after Christmas. So they're not technically a part of Advent. But if you ever look at a nativity scene, what's a nativity scene?
It's a little statue or picture of the baby Jesus with his family, usually like on the night he was born in a stable.
Yes. So if you ever look at a nativity, the Magi show up.
Yes.
But the Magi, they actually get their own special holiday called what?
Epiphany.
Yeah. And can you explain Epiphany in 2 sentences?
It's the first holiday after the 12 days of Christmas, when we remember the story of the Magi coming to bring gifts to a newborn king.
Yes. So this is something that's really cool. And I didn't know it was called Epiphany until I started going to a church that celebrated Epiphany. I always thought the wise men were there at Christmas, but they're not.
They show up later. But part of the reason why we wanted to include them in Advent is because they probably had a very long journey.
Yes.
And so there's some debate about when they actually showed up after Jesus' birth. But I imagine that they started walking toward Jesus long before he was actually born.
Imagine?
Yeah. Same. I imagine. Long before Jesus was born. So, but the way that their story starts is that they get a word. They get an idea. Mm-hmm. They see a star.
Yes. A big star, which is why we have stars on top of our Christmas trees, right?
That's right.
Yeah. And so they see this big star and they're like, this star doesn't belong in the sky. We've never seen this star before. And for my science friends that are listening, stars like are around for a long, long time. And so for a new star to just appear, this was something that was really weird to them and it caught their attention. And so they're looking at this star and then they start consulting some ancient texts because they're like, this has to mean something.
Yeah, they go to their books, go to the library.
Yes. And that is when they find the words of the prophets who we talked about in our first Advent adventure that says a new king is about to be born.
Yeah.
And this king is not just going to be any old king. This is the savior of the world. And this king is going to be born in Bethlehem. So they're like, we got to go see this king. And so what they do is they load up their pack animals, camels, donkeys, horses, we're not really sure. And they set off. And because they lived in another country, like they lived far away. And they set off and they follow this star to get to where Jesus is.
Yes. And it leads them all the way to Bethlehem.
It does. But before they get there, once they get into the kingdom where Jesus lives, they decide to visit the guy that's already king.
That's right.
And his name is Herod. And they go to King Herod and they're like, congrats on the new king. And Herod's like, what are you talking about? And the Magi are like, oh, well, we saw the star. And according to your prophets, this baby is going to be born and this baby is supposed to be the new king. And Herod's like, I don't like that because I'm king. And Herod gets very jealous. So Herod hatches a plan and he tells the wise men, here's what you're going to do. Why don't you keep following that star? I don't really know what you're talking about, but you have my permission to go and find this baby. And I want to worship this baby too. Because that's the thing. They're like, we want to worship this king. And Herod's like, I want to worship this king too. So why don't you go find him, do all the worshiping you want, and then come back and tell me where this baby is. And I'm going to go worship him too. And the wise men are like, great, cool. And so they set out, they continue following the star, and they get to Jesus. And they find Jesus with his family.
And they present him with gifts.
Yes, they present him with 3 special gifts, which are what?
Gold, frankincense, and myrrh.
Yes. And what are frankincense and myrrh? Because we know what gold is.
Yeah.
I hope you know what gold is. It's shiny. It's worth a lot of money. What is frankincense and myrrh?
They're both like spices or resins that are used for 2 main purposes. One is in worship. So frankincense particularly is burned to make smoke that carries our prayers to God. And then myrrh is used in worship, but also it's used when preparing somebody for burial. So that's the one that's kind of like a little bit weird.
Yeah.
But part of what we know about Jesus is that part of what he does is die. And so part of that story is being put in the very beginning of the story. That's part of what kind of king he's going to be. So they present Jesus with these gifts. Now, if it were me, I'm not so sure that that's what I would want for my first Christmas gifts.
No,
I would probably want some Lego, or like a basketball or some things like that. But I'm sure that Mary and Jesus and Joseph were very polite and said, thank you very much. But what they did get to do was worship this newborn king.
Yes. And I think for Mary, it was really cool because it says that she pondered these things in her heart. And so she was kind of like, yeah, this is what everybody talks about.
This is amazing. Yes. And then we're told that the Magi are warned in a dream to get out of there.
Yeah.
And so they don't go back to Herod and tell him the news. They go home by another way.
Yeah. They get out of there real quick. So Herod doesn't ever find out where Jesus is. And
That's
so they
right.
essentially save Jesus's life.
Yeah.
Because of this dream, which I just think is really cool.
Yeah.
Let's just jump into it with our I Wonder questions.
Yeah.
So I have a few I Wonders for this one, but we'll start with you. What is one of your I Wonder questions?
I wonder where they actually came from, because there's like more than one theory about where they came from. We know they came from somewhere that was not Israel. It was not the place, or Judah, or the place where God's people lived. They did not come from inside those borders. They came from outside that land. But there's a lot of different theories about where they did come from. And so like when you see pictures of the 3 Magi, they get painted or sculpted to look like people from different countries. Sometimes that means they have different colored skin or they're wearing different clothes. But I do wonder, okay, where did they come from?
Yeah. It does say the east.
Yes.
So east of Israel.
Yes, but if you go around the whole world, east could be anywhere.
That's true. Yeah, that's the cool thing about living on a round planet.
Yes, that's right. What's your I wonder?
One of my I wonders is how many of them were there.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people say that there were 3. There's actually a whole song called We Three Kings, which I had a professor in college. His name was Dr. Pleasure, and he was my world history professor. And he was amazing. And when we got to this story, he was like, we 3 kings of Orient are. And he starts like reciting the song. And he's like, beautiful poetry, beautiful music, complete lies.
Well, it's not lies.
And so he said that there were, just based on like historical evidence, like their positions and how they would have traveled, there would have been at least like 100 of them.
Oh, wow.
Because of maybe not like actual magi, but they would have traveled with like attendants and servants and things like that.
A big group.
And if they're coming from as far away as we think they're coming from, like they would have needed people to, you know, build their camp and cook for them and things like that. And also there have been some letters, they haven't been verified, but Herod did something pretty bad after the Magi left in order to find Jesus. And he had to give an account to Rome about why he did this bad thing. And he mentions visitors coming. And it was like a couple hundred people. But I don't know. Like it never says in the Bible. People think that there are 3 because there are 3 gifts, the gold,
right,
the frankincense, and the myrrh. And if you ever look at a nativity, there's going to be 3 wise men. But we just don't know. And I really want to know.
We don't get all the answers, do we?
No.
No.
How many do you think there were?
Probably 6 or 7.
6, 7.
Or 67. I don't know though. But there's a lot that we don't know. But what do you think this story tells us about God?
I think what this story tells us about God is that Jesus is for everybody. That Jesus isn't just a king for Israel. He's a king for the world. So much so that we're going to let the whole world know that he's here. Like I said, they were consulting Israel's prophets, but the stars showed up all the way in the land where they lived. And kind of another I wonder I have that goes with this is like, did other people see the star, or was it just them that saw the star? Were other people curious about this big old star that had just showed up over Bethlehem? I don't know. But I think, that God and Jesus particularly is for everyone.
Love that.
What does the story tell you about God?
It tells me that that God is worthy to be worshipped.
Ooh.
Like in the time, the reason why these magi are coming is because when there's a new king, all the other kings try to start the relationship off on a good foot and come and pay you homage, which means like bring you a gift and say like, welcome to the king club. And part of the ironic thing is that they're bringing all these things to a baby. But part of the reason that what we learn from them showing up in the story is like they got it right, that they're worshiping the one who is supposed to be worshiped. And it can be hard for us to believe that Jesus, born a baby, like raised in this ancient culture, is in fact like God with us and is worthy of our worship. But that's kind of part of what the Bible wants us to believe, that actually this one who was just a man and yet much more than a man is the one who's worthy of our worship and is actually like the king of the whole world. And it tells us that like you can and you should believe in this particular God and the kind of love that he shows. So we kind of join the kings in bowing and bringing gifts to the newborn king.
That just makes me think of another I wonder question.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? I wonder what they did afterwards. Like when they went home on their different route, and they got back to wherever they came from. Like, do you think they talked about it anymore? Do you think they told the people where they came from, like where they had been? Like, we went and saw this baby. Like,
Yeah.
Like, I just kind of wonder, what was their life like afterwards? And like, kind of what does that mean for us today after we encounter Jesus for the first time?
Yeah. It kind of makes me like, it could be one of two things. It could be that their lives were totally changed because they were in the presence of Jesus Christ, and they thought about this baby and they remembered him. And then, they heard about this man named Jesus who died and was raised. And they were like, oh my gosh, I knew that guy when he was a baby. Like, you could think through what that story looks like. You could even write it as like fan fiction or midrash. The other is that they went home and they had checked that box. And so they started looking at the stars again and just lived their normal life.
Yeah.
And I think that's okay too, because what happens in Jesus is mostly about what God is doing. So it's as if God is making this story happen. So God says, I want everybody to know that Jesus is for everybody. So I'm going to take these people from a random place way far away and bring them and let them worship Jesus so that everyone will hear this story and know that the whole world can worship Jesus. And after they've done that, thank you. You've done your part. You can go back and live your life. Both can be true, that being with Jesus can change you. And ultimately, we are playing parts in the story that God is writing.
Yeah.
And so they can be just normal magi at the end of the day. What they did was play a part in a much bigger story.
Yeah.
That is for them.
What this story makes me think of, do you travel on Christmas?
Sometimes, usually after Christmas.
Yeah, we do too. We travel, we go to like a different state. And a lot of times we'll travel like late at night. And when I was a kid, we would do the same thing. And one of my favorite games to play in the backseat of a car is I will find like a certain star or a certain constellation, and then just like see how long I can watch it in the car. Normally I end up just falling asleep and then I lose it. But I don't know. That's just they were traveling at Christmas and watching the star the whole time. So also I wonder, like, did they just travel at night?
I don't know.
So many questions.
I've never used the stars to navigate.
I have not either.
Plenty of people have.
Yeah, like Moana.
Yeah. And sailors in general.
Yeah. So I just have so many questions, but I think one of the things I want to do with my questions is stump you.
Let's do it. I'm ready.
You get to go first this time.
Oh, I do?
Yeah, because I went first on the last episode.
Okay. Does it have to be from the Bible? Does it?
Let's find out. It depends on whether or not I can answer the question.
So there are legends about these magi that aren't written in the Bible, but that are passed down in the tradition.
Oh, yes. Please ask this question because I already know the answer.
You do?
Yeah, go for it.
Name one of the magi.
Balthazar.
Yeah, you got it right. do you know anybody else's name?
No.
Another one is Melchior.
Oh, okay.
And I forget the third one, but Melchior, we had a fish named Melchior once because we got the fish on Epiphany. And he's no longer with us. He's with Jesus.
Oh.
The third one, I can't remember the third one. You should write us an email and remind me of the third one. It's I feel like it's a more normal name, like Chad, but it's not. It's not
Derek.
that. Something like that. All right, so I didn't stump you.
You
Your
did
turn.
not stump me. I also, do you want to hear some other like midrash that I've heard?
Sure.
I've heard that the Magi were descended from Daniel.
Oh, that's cool.
Like while he was in Babylon.
Who was also like a stargazing
Prophet.
wanderer. Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah. Okay. How many Magi stories are in the Bible?
More than one. The only other one I can think of is when Elijah got in like a dance battle doing prophet stuff with Magi who were in the area. So that's two. Let's go with...
How about baby Jesus Magi? Like how many baby Jesus Magi stories are there in the Bible?
One. It's only told in the Gospel of Matthew.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, good. I didn't quite understand your question. It's like, how many times do Magi show up?
The dance battle was the bonus.
Yes. But you're right. This story is only told in the Gospel of Matthew.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a feature of that story.
So it's cool.
Yeah. Well, happy Advent too.
Happy Advent too. And if you have a star on top of your tree, remember this story.
Yes, and if you have nativity scenes that you set up in your house, here's the challenge. Wait till January 6th to put the Magi in the story.
Yeah. But normally January 6th is when we're taking down all of our Christmas decorations.
No, you should keep it up long enough for the Magi to have their day. The other fun thing to do that some people do is they put the Magi somewhere else in the house.
Oh.
And then through Advent, they get moved closer and closer to the story.
I love that.
Like they're making their long journey.
That's really, really cool.
And anytime, especially in this time of year when all the leaves are off of the tree, if you're outside at night, find a star and imagine that it's the star that's put there to send you a message about Jesus. Imagine that you're the Magi.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see you next week for Advent Adventure 3. I'm really excited about this one.
Me
because
too.
we're talking about a lady.
Can't wait. It's going to be great.
Yeah. All right. Well, happy Advent, everyone, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Minivangelism and the Driver's Seat are hosted by Anna Burrell and Drew Colby. Theme song written by David Burrell and produced by Evan Setzer. The theme song was performed by David Burrell, Drew Colby, and Evan Setzer. Podcast, sound design, and editing done by David Burrell. Minivangelism and the Driver's Seat are a ministry of Grace United Methodist Church in Manassas, Virginia. For more information, check out umcgrace.org.